What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Heron Heads. Sorry we're a little bit late on our live here. We had some familial issues to handle before we came on. So thanks for waiting, everyone that's here in the live. And welcome to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. My name is Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, we want to thank you for joining us for episode 56 here on the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. For those of you watching on YouTube Live, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the show. And a huge shout out to our chief Heron Heads, Matias, Chao, Abu, and Ava. Thank you so much for your continued generous support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you'll find a link in the description wherever you are listening. All right, guys, this is the biggest match of the season so far, the early season, the young season. It is our first elimination match of the season as we take on Nashville SC in the CONCACAF Champions Cup leg 2. So we obviously played last week on Thursday, and it was a 2-2 draw. And now the party comes back to Miami. And how is everybody feeling?
I'm thinking that it's a big mistake for Nashville to have let us tie the game. That's what I'm thinking. I think they're going to regret it. I think they had us. They had us dead to right. They could have made it 3-1, and that right there would have probably, I think at that point I would have been like, I'm not really interested in this game, just because it'll be a lot to come back from.
Is that a cocky Miami fan kind of making its way through the light, or what?
That's cautiously optimistic. Cocky Miami fan. Like it's like, I don't know, it's a lot of adjectives right there. Exactly.
You're either in or out. Are you in? Or are you out?
I'm in.
There.
Saraki's in. I see he's gonna be there Wednesday. I like that.
Nice. Represent for us there. Yeah, man. Elimination makes things a little more interesting, a little spicier. It should be a good one. Nashville, we know, always puts up a great fight against us. We cannot let them get ahead like they did. It can't happen. Cannot happen. We got to beat them in the midfield again, get that possession down, and hopefully Tata doesn't make any mistakes. We see a decent formation out there. We see the right personnel out there, and we just move along to the next one. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a fun one, especially after this match yesterday that left a bad taste in our mouth.
Yeah, I'm feeling right now, I feel sick to my stomach, but it has nothing to do with the actual game. This is just a personal note. So if I'm making weird faces, that's why. As far as the match, it's a no-holds-bar type of match. They can't hold anything back, so I expect them to, like Chris said, use a good formation out there. Hopefully we don't see 5 at the back. We see the 4-3-3, and then they'll just have to, they can't hold back. So we're going to see all our best players out there. Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Alba, Redondo. Nobody else matters. But those guys will be in there, and it's going to be great.
Drake Callender.
Maybe.
Robert Taylor.
I mean, after that last match, I think Jose has Drake Callender walking the plank.
I've had
Dos Santos.
Jose has whoever played bad in a game walking the plank, and then he hasn't won a pedestal the game after. It is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Get good or get gone. You know what I mean?
Did you guys notice that we're all wearing black today?
It's the funeral. It's the Mukhtar funeral. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We all have black beards too. How about that?
I'm muted. So the question in the chat, how confident are we that Messi starts? 1,000% confident that Messi starts. 1,000%. Does anyone think any differently?
No.
Nope. That's the reason we rested him. We rested him to start in a CONCACAF match. That's the only reason we rested him, and that's the best reason that we rested him. So We lost Julio. Goodbye, Julio.
There you go.
Nice.
All right.
Very nice.
Thanks, Julio. You're doing great, buddy. Yeah, so I'm not at all worried about him not playing or that question in general. It's not something that worries me because I think that's literally why he sat on Sunday, so that it wouldn't be an issue. You know what I mean?
Totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. I think Messi rested specifically to be ready for this match. It was a slight pickup, a slight knock that he took at the end. He continued to play, and there was no issue.
Yeah, and like we said time and time again, every episode we say what's the most important thing right now is these CONCACAF matchups, international play. We want to get the brand out there. We want to show. And if Messi is ready, he's going to be there because he is the main event. He's what people go out there to see. He is the engine for this team, and yeah, he'll for sure be there. You're going to get your money's worth, Octi.
Yeah. So one thing I'm going to be looking forward to is not just seeing Messi come up, but then also we're going to have Luis Suarez also come out for as a starter. You know what I mean? And that's something where I'm expecting a lot of playing time for these guys, and it's just something that that we've come to expect from these guys. That now they seem to be getting their groove going. You throw that in, you throw in Luis Suarez, Messi, and then now and Jordi Alba on the same page for an extended period of time. My biggest concern will be as I've stated with the team, the Schaffelbergs of the world, where he's going to be a threat like he was in the last game, and we have to be able to find a way of neutralizing him. If he's going to have his way with the team on the wing. Right?
Right.
Totally.
Are we live?
Yeah.
We're definitely live.
What's happening?
I don't know. We had just some chaos that completely just derailed this technical.
All right.
Yeah, so back to the whole Messi thing and in Nashville in general. So one thing that's going to be different. Let's think about what happened last match and compared to what could happen in this match. Last match we saw a different formation, right? I know we keep harping the formation, but that's what we hate about Tata's coaching right now, right? So think about last Nashville match, we had a different formation, and Alba didn't play. So we are going to see a few different things Wednesday. We're going to see a few different things out there. So we're hoping to see a different team out there, and we've said it before. Alba out there just makes his team a lot more dangerous and just a lot more effective overall.
Julio's just quit. He doesn't want to be involved. That take was so outrageous, Chris, that Julio just walked out.
He's so done with you.
That's enough.
What's up? Shoes are
At least he tried.
Is that what it is? I can't never see what is.
Shoes are not hammers is the name of that. That's okay. The artist formerly known as Moag. Was it Moag?
Yes, it is Moag.
Mike V, if you want to drink, I'll take it, baby. Don't you worry.
So Julio just took a shot off screen. He's just like, this isn't working today.
He's so stressed out.
Food lover, thank you. As a Ronaldo fan, I totally understand. You know what I mean? But yeah. So let's get some structure going, guys. So we definitely understand what's coming. We've already seen them on the first leg. I think what do you guys think that we're going to try differently to stop their wing attacks? Since that happens to be the one thing that I think we were getting dominated on the whole game.
Well, this time around we'll go with the 4-3-3, which the games that we've gone with 4-3-3, we're much better defensively. So again, it's more simple, it's more defined for the players in the back, and they can cover a little easier. There's not as much room for them to cover with the wingback shooting up as much. So it's just a matter of everybody being like playing within their system, and again having all of our good players out on the pitch at the same time. It's gonna pay dividends. I don't want to get into predictions or anything right now, but I expect us to handle business.
Yeah, I agree.
Because of the 4-3-3. Sorry, is that what? Okay. What were you saying, Chris?
I think Julio wanted to say something. He had his finger up. Or not. No, so what I was gonna say is that Mukhtar, the last match was Mukhtar's first game back. When we did the preview for that matchup, one of the things I said that when we were talking about the players to watch or whatever, we weren't sure if Mukhtar was going to play or not because of the injury. The man got paid. The man played against Nashville. I want to say, did they rest him? I know they rested a lot of starters yesterday in MLS or Saturday in MLS matches. But he's ready to go. He's ready to rock and roll. And once we get there to later on in this episode, if we get there in this episode, he's going to be my player to watch because I think he's out for vengeance. I know who Jose has his Mukhtar Doghouse. He better open the door to the Doghouse and our arms wide open, accept him into the Doghouse because I think he's coming for vengeance.
Mukhtar?
Yeah, Mukhtar.
Yeah, I mean that could very well happen. He's a very talented player. He's the best. He's definitely their captain, the best player. So, and he didn't really do much in the last game, to be honest. We kept him in the Doghouse for a long time, just like the last year. We just seem to play him very well. But yeah, perhaps he gets going. I think, and actually one of the commenters just added that, which I did hear that, David, that Tata had said that he likes the 3-5-2 because we don't have Yellen. So like today in the text that you said that it's a disaster that we let go of Yellen without a proper right back. It's just, but perhaps a 3-5-2 might help.
It does not help. But what I think is, when has Tata ever been so forward with information about formations and things like that? He always waits to the last second to do anything. So him stating from such an early position that they're going to go with the 3-5-2, I mean, I can't take too much credence into that because we've seen him do massive lineup changes and formation changes minutes before they announce their lineup cards. So yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a tactical maneuver that he's pulling against Nashville, and that's maybe again a two-leg match. Show them one formation for one match, and then if they're trying to accommodate a plan against that formation, you hit them with a completely different formation. So it does leave something for Tata to kind of tinker with, but I think he has nothing to gain by saying that that's what they're gonna deploy against Nashville and so far in advance. So yeah, he might have said that, but I don't believe it until we see it out on the pitch.
It's so bad that it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I wish Tata was that smart. I wish Tata was smart enough to be like outmaneuvering opposing coaches with his like mental 4D chess, but he hasn't proven anything yet to me in that capacity. So I'm not overly hopeful. It gives us the best chance to win, and we beat that dead horse over and over yesterday in our reaction episode to Montreal. But yeah, I'm hoping and praying that we're wrong and he comes out with the 4 at the back. Even if it's Gressel, even if it's Ruiz, it just gives us a much more solid back line. And the 3 at the back was awful against Nashville. Schaffelberg was destroying us.
But isn't that part of the advantage of signing Gressel is the fact that he can play multiple spots? We have players who can play on the wing, so deploy them on the wing and play the one guy who you have any kind of confidence to play right back, even if it's just for a short amount of time. Put him at right back. I understand it's not the best utilization of his skills, but look at Alba. Alba, he's playing left back, but in this team, in this scheme, he could do more in attack as well. So I think it's fine. It's perfectly acceptable to play Gressel and right back, and to say that you don't have a confident person to put there, I think that's kind of a cop out. That was the whole thing, that when they signed Gressel, even some people were saying, "Oh, they signed Gressel. Yellen's days are numbered." So now Yellen's out, and now Gressel suddenly is not a capable right back. Like, I don't buy it.
I don't buy it either, and I totally agree that Gressel should be starting at right back, and especially now that Redondo is like integrated into the team, I don't see why we don't go Gomez, Redondo, Busquets in the middle, Gressel at right back, Toto and Freire in the middle, like back middle, obviously center backs, Alba at left back, and then the front three of Taylor, Suarez, Messi. If that was the lineup that we roll out with, it's over.
And all of that, what you guys
even
are
Noah
saying.
Allen that right back, guys. I mean,
Oh, hey. YouTube said nope.
That's what you get, Jose.
it just ended.
Welcome to the Allen Doghouse.
So what I was gonna say is that you guys are making perfect points to what I wanted to say. Are we really gonna change everything just because we don't have maybe one position that we don't have a true right back for? We have a guy that could play it pretty well in Gressel, and the rest of the team, the rest of the personnel is great for the 4-3-3. We have really good midfielders. We have weaker center backs. So why are we gonna roll out something that has more of what we're weak at? It just doesn't make any sense. I still think the reason he didn't roll out with the 4-3-3 in the first national match is because Alba wasn't there, and last match is just a lot of rotation going on. So maybe he felt better with that. But our personnel is just stronger for a 4-3-3, and just because we don't have a true right back, I don't think means that we should let go of it. I don't think. Yes, Yellen was fast. Yes, he could keep up with these faster wingers, but I don't think he was the end all be all. I think he was very replaceable at the end of the day.
I think Steve here brings up a really good point, saying that when the team is lazy defending set pieces, conceding 2 goals is not on the 3-5-2. The same thing would have happened in any formation. And I totally agree with that. The set pieces, we need to clean them up. If Montreal did what they did to us on set pieces, you better believe that Nashville can be just as dangerous on those set pieces. And that's a huge point of emphasis. And it's been a point of emphasis because it was one of Inter Miami's greatest weaknesses. And I will say that we're bigger this season, but we need to put that size to use on set pieces because it had held up until we played against Montreal. And then they completely exposed us corner after corner. And the second goal, I believe, was a set piece that just... it was a ways away, and they still got on the end of it. And at the end of the day, Calendar needs to command the box better. Toto needs to play bigger. All our players need to play bigger and really command the spaces that they're defending. Set pieces is going to be a huge key.
Freire wasn't on for those set pieces, correct? So, yeah, I think that he makes a big difference when it comes to defending those set pieces. He's probably our most physical center back. So having Freire in there, Toto needs to be better. He needs to be more aware, and he needs to be a little more physical, not just when players are running by him and giving them a cheap elbow and knocking them out. He needs to be effectively strong in those situations. But yeah, again, if we have the optimal lineup, which there's no reason to believe that they won't. There's so much on the line for this match. Then I think it shouldn't be an issue. I don't think there's going to be any phase of the game that should be an issue.
I mean, that's possible, Carlos. That's very possible.
That'll really help with set pieces.
That would really help, actually.
And the other thing with set pieces too, I know we had a very rough match with set pieces now, but Noah Allen had a good game. I'm not gonna really harp on him too much, but he is a smaller guy, and having that 3 at the back. Obviously, you could interchange him with Christoph or whatever, but having him 3 at the back yesterday in particular made our team a little smaller than what it could have been. So that could have also been another point that maybe we don't see that. I'm 95% sure we don't see that tomorrow or Wednesday. Noah Allen should not be starting. So our team is going to be slightly bigger. Fred is a big guy. Obviously, Redondo, Busi, Suarez, all of those, they bring that height aspect to our team that's going to help with the set pieces. And all of those guys were out. Those are 3 main guys that were just out of the match or out of the lineup the other day until later in the match.
And this game's going to be physical, not just on set pieces, but overall. I mean, the game last Thursday was brutal. It was rough, tough. Toto was throwing elbows all over the place, pushing guys to the ground. McNaughton stepping on Messi's calf, after he kicked it. There was a lot of ticky-tack things going on, which is what you expect in this competition, but it's going to be very physical. So we need the big bodies out there to kind of jostle and bang around. I mean, we saw Suarez score such a nice goal. Who was it against? Against LA? Orlando? Probably Orlando. We scored so many against Orlando, I can't even remember all of them. When he just banged through the midfield. Yeah, when he just banged through the midfield and then made it into the box and scored. We're gonna need physical play like that. We're gonna need people that don't mind bumping into bodies in the box and don't get thrown off the ball so easily. Campana comes to mind. He's big, but he doesn't have girth to him. He needs to just use his weight better and just use his size better. And he doesn't. Yeah, he's lengthy. He's not girthy. But I think these players that are more solid, that have just, I don't know, a lower center of gravity, that can't get thrown off the ball, can't get pushed around and bossed around too much, they're going to be really important. And again, I'm just hopeful that Tata puts the players in a position to be successful, because it just felt like he set them up for failure yesterday against Montreal. So I'm just hopeful that we're in a better position come Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Are you saying that Campana skips leg days?
Yeah, probably. He's just too busy working on his skincare routine. He en redondo now. So, Jose, I think I know who your player to watch on Nashville is, but other than Schaffelberg, does anyone really give you pause?
Like Chris said, Mukhtar. I think Mukhtar is. I do believe in the law of due, and I feel like he's due. And it's just one of those things where we just have to be strong in the middle. We made it very difficult with him. We made it very difficult for him. So it's one of those things that no, Elaine, that's not how it works. You have to actually put $1 in. We would see it. It would have a whole color. It's not the way it works.
She did. She did. Do it again.
Prove it.
Yeah. So yeah, Mukhtar does get me nervous just because of that. I do think that he has some rust to kind of shake off, and I feel like he's due. Similar to Redondo in the sense of Redondo's done very, very good stuff, right? Every game that we see him play with this team, I feel like he's just going to unleash a little bit more and more and more. And man, I'm just hoping for today, for this next game, for him to just unleash another tool that we haven't seen from his bag. You know what I mean?
So you're going to predict he scores?
Mukhtar?
No, Redondo.
No, I don't think he's pushing the ball up enough. And the way that Tata is playing him, extremely smart the way he's playing him, just keeping him as far in the back as possible. No, I'm being extremely sarcastic.
Was this before or after he basically just took the ball by himself all the way into the box?
Well, he just totally disregards what that's saying. He's like, I'm going to take it myself, and that's it.
He was bored.
That's it. That's what he does. But I'm excited to see his play. Okay, so I talked about Schaffelberg and Mukhtar. That Redondo's the guy that I'm watching now, because I really think, man, he's just grasping this offense and playing with the team way better. It's silky smooth. So it's pure liquid.
Breaking news.
It's pure liquid. My player to watch, I don't have so much as an individual player, but it's just the entire defense when it comes to Nashville. I want to see how physical they are with us, because like Julio said, this is going to be a very physical match. So watching McNaughton, watching Zimmerman, just to see what they do to kind of get us off of our rhythm. We remember last season how physical Orlando played us and how they really tried to get under Messi's skin. And we've been seeing that more and more with with clubs that we're playing against. So I expect Nashville to really go out of their way to get under Messi's skin, and we'll see Suarez come up to defend him. We're going to see a lot of that. So I want to make sure that as soon as that happens, that we score promptly and regularly to make that stop real quick, because that type of chippiness and that type of play can lead to injuries when it comes to these older players. So if they do that, I want them to make them pay.
So
I want to see. Sorry, Chris. I want to see what happens when Inter Miami try to dominate the ball again, because we had 70% possession against Nashville. I want to see how comfortable Nashville might be holding the ball a little bit more, because I imagine they will. I imagine Inter Miami will sit back a little bit more. To me, that's really interesting. And Chris, I didn't mean to cut you off, so you can go from there, and I'll dive into that more.
no, it's all good. Since Jose took my player to watch, he pulled a David today, so I'll go with someone that is coming back from injury. Was subbed in late against LA Galaxy yesterday. Is Sam Surge. He's their other big time threat. They're number 9, and he is. If he plays most of the game, again, he only played, I think, like 15 minutes yesterday. So it's still something to watch if he's going to start or not. But if he plays, or once he gets into the game, he's going to be a big-time threat for our against our center backs. All right, hopefully Freire plays, hopefully Toto plays together back there, and we don't see Christoph or No Allen. But yeah, if he does come in later and we do sub in or sub out one of our center backs for one of those two, Christoph or No Allen, it's going to be definitely a matchup to watch, and something that's very, very troubling in my opinion. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Wednesday. I keep saying it tomorrow. I feel like it's Tuesday. We'll see on Wednesday what the lineup looks like, and if he actually starts or if he just comes in a little later.
Something to keep in mind also going into this game. This is a great. Did you know, Julio? Nashville only won 4 games all of last year. That's something to keep in mind. They're not necessarily. And I know there's a new year, but it's one of those things where it's hard to win away in the MLS. It's hard. It's way harder to win.
They only won 4 games away.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said 4 games. Period.
I was like, what? Nobody heard away.
I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to do this thing where, David, you're going to have to see the whole thing again, and you're going to say, Jose was right. And I'm going to sit back.
No, none of the other 3 are going to watch.
Right. You tell him he's right after he tells me specifically a did you know.
Got it. Right. Did you know that Jose was right? Is how I'll frame that. There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna get a bunch of like Jose memorabilia. Like somebody else asked about if there's anywhere that they can buy merchandise of us. We're gonna just do a bunch of Jose things. Yeah, exactly. Just put it up. Thank you, Joe. Another great one. I think Mike V said the other day it'll just be the beard and the
and I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly.
Great. Thank you for that, Jose. I did not know that they only won 4 matches away from home. And I think there is something to be said about playing in Miami Fort Lauderdale, on a muggy night in Fort Lauderdale. I think there is something to be said about that. It's tough to play away regardless. That's sort of what makes Montreal's success away from home so impressive, as we saw yesterday. Inter Miami should have a ton of support. Now that Messi and co are in town, the games are always sellouts, even though it's a midweek fixture. We've seen some empty stands in other fixtures in this competition that are midweek, but it's to be expected that the stands are going to be full. That's just the kind of draw that we have, especially now. And it's a different animal. Nashville was raucous. They got started early, and they had all the reason to cheer. So it's going to be really interesting. I think the game's going to be very open because Nashville's going to have to go for it. And that should hopefully lead for a lot of opportunities for us, which again is why I'm hopeful that we see a formation that gives us width, gives us wingers, gives us Robert Taylor where he can run at opposition and use his pace. I mean, say what you will, Jose, but like he's faster in attack than most of our other players.
We don't have any other guy. I mean, yeah. It's not even saying anything crazy. Right.
So I'm really interested to see, as far as who I'm watching. I think Shaq Moore could again give us problems. He was really dangerous and had a very close offside goal against us, but he's going to be really the person opposite of Schaffelberg. Obviously they have, like a right winger, a true right winger, but Shaq Moore is very much a Yedlin type that loves getting up in attack, loves getting involved in the offense. So to me, we need to be careful for his overlapping runs. Luckily, he's on Alba's side, so Alba should be able to lock it down between him and whoever's over on that left side, whether it be Gomez or Redondo helping, Busquets sort of roaming. So to me, Shaq Moore, apart from Surridge and Mukhtar and Schaffelberg, he's someone to watch because he gave us problems, especially late in the match. And then goes without saying that Zimmerman could be a problem, especially on set pieces, like we mentioned ahead of last week's match. But it should be fun. It should be fun no matter what. It's going to be really tight if they somehow score first. Then it's just going to be like super nervy. But if we're able to score one, if we're able to score the first one, we got house money. Because then Nashville will need to score two no matter what to advance. So scoring that first goal, you can always say you want your team to score first, but scoring the first goal will give us a tremendous advantage.
Yeah, you think they're really going to come out with like their? Do you think they're going to come out with their head on fire and just like be pressing us right from the get-go to see if they can force an error right from the beginning? I think that's probably what I would do if I was them, because I've seen other teams have success with us making errant passes when they get pressed. But I'd be surprised if they don't do that. Like it behooves them to get a goal as soon as possible. So I think it should be expected that they're going to come out with the press.
I dare them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's going to happen regardless. So dare them away. I mean, it's going to happen, and the question will be, will we be ready this time? Because it's truly every time we watch them, it's kind of like I don't know what I'm going to get this time around. It's sometimes I mean, the last few games we've handled it pretty well overall, I would say, but we're still extremely prone to giving a silly opportunity to the opposing nine. Just is what it is. Another thing to look at, by the way, some folks that are in the comments are going to the game. If anybody else is interested in going to the game right now, it's not expensive comparatively speaking for an elimination game for us. It's $100, the cheapest ticket. That's not too bad considering we're kind of used to like crazy prices in the Messi era. But $100 standing room only in the supporter section, and then $157 to sit just in the stands.
Heron Heads trip? Nah.
I would love to.
Midweek is rough, man. Midweek is rough. But yeah, if anyone has the opportunity to go. Like Jose said, you're not going to get better prices than that often in a game that Messi will most likely play in. I wonder how much people paid for the Montreal tickets yesterday, expecting him to play, and then he didn't. Although we didn't hear too much of that. Usually we hear like a lot of sore people being like, "Oh, we paid $500 and I traveled from Montreal to watch these guys play," and then they didn't. Didn't hear too much of that. So yeah, if you have the opportunity to go. That's a good price. Just be prepared because it's not in Miami. It's far.
I think it's a little different. I think it's a little different during the season, just because, especially the East teams, that we play them, 3 times, I think, during the season. So I don't think we'll be hearing too much of that throughout the season like we did in the preseason. Preseason was a once in a lifetime for that region that they were in. So I don't think we'll be hearing too much of that this season. It's more expected for them to sit as well during this long, 60 game or however many games we have with tournaments.
Yeah. I was just remembering like Atlanta, when we played Atlanta, and everyone was just so upset that Messi was eating pizza. What are you going to do, So should we get into predictions of some kind? Is Dave Stradamus in the building? Should we wait a few minutes for that? All right. There he is.
Dave Stradamus, yes, he's in. You don't have to wait any more minutes. Yeah, so like I said earlier, I believe that we're going to go out there with our best players. We're going to go in a proper formation. We're not going to go 5 at the back, despite what Tata said. And I think that we cruise to a 3-1 victory. We score early, we score often, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to move forward.
Yeah, Shu, I think he's going to start. I think Shu asked about it. If Messi doesn't start, what would our squad look like? Let's not even go down that path. I don't want to. He's going to start. He'll be playing. If he didn't, I'm expecting us to park the bus. That's what I would think. That's what I would do. I would park the bus. That's it. Everybody all aboard. Just park the bus. All defensive unit, and let's root for a 1-1 tie. That's it. And we're on to the next one. But I don't think that's what we're gonna do, and I think Messi's gonna play. I would say it's gonna be 2-1. We're gonna win. I think it'll be on a Suarez and Messi. Goal each and time to go next round. Now the Q question is who do we get next? That's the fun question.
I don't want to answer that question. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win Miami. I think we score first. We score decently pretty early. But we attempt to park the bus, and they start pressing us, and we get a turnover and score the second goal. Messi and Suarez. Agreed.
Messi and Suarez. Agreed.
So you agree with me? 2-1. Thank you.
So I'm going to say...
You just said ditto. Jose, exactly what you just said. Thank you.
Jose was right. David was supposed to say it, not Chris. So I think I think we finished 3-2. Miami win. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this match. I think it's just going to be very open. And I actually think that Nashville is going to score first, which is going to be awful. And then it's just going to be a dogfight. But I think it'll just be back and forth. And then just another rabbit out of the hat. Messi or Suarez or Busquets or Alba are able to come up with something just absolutely ridiculous. And the fans are going to go crazy. We're going to go crazy. We'll probably make Chris and Jose just react to our reactions of watching it live. It's going to be wonderful again because that's just our MO. But I do think 3-2 Miami advances, and it'll be just amazing. It'll be great. It'll be great. It's going to be a ton of fun. Like I said, I think it's going to be a very open match. I think for neutrals, I think it'll be a very appealing watch. And it's going to be a lot of suffering to watch it for those of us that have stakes in it. But I'm expecting high scoring. I'm expecting very open play, very tense nerves, especially after that first goal goes in. But Miami will find a way. We have the talent, the players, the home field advantage, all those things that play into our favor. And the only thing holding us back so far is Tata.
Did you say a score? I'm sorry, I might have missed it.
3-2. 3-2 Miami.
3-2? Gotcha.
3-2 Miami. So I do kind of want to touch on Shoes' comment. If Messi doesn't play, who does play? Because I do think that's interesting in general. I fully expect Messi to play, don't get me wrong. But in that hypothetical situation, who would you put out? Because to me, it's not the same lineup that went out yesterday against Montreal.
You keep the same lineup, except you put Noah Allen at left back, and you replace Messi with Jordi Alba.
I mean, that's kind of what got us to. He's not going to do that. But I like your creativity, and I appreciate it, and I applaud it. But I doubt it's going to happen. He's not going to do that.
That's not going to happen at all. Messi's playing.
Right. All around. But I think it was the same thing of the last game. Basically, just subbing Suarez instead. I don't think he's the most creative person. Okay, he is very creative, and sometimes we're like, okay, that was crazy. But I think what you just said, Dave, I think it's beyond whatever he would do. I think that'll be so fun. Imagine just putting Jordi out there, just like just go have fun. You know what I mean?
He just walks out on the pitch like king of the castle.
Yeah, I think the main difference from yesterday's lineup is Suarez would start over Campana. In a perfect world, Tata would go out with the 4-3-3, which I thought he was going to do. And you could go Taylor, Suarez, and maybe Borgelin out on the right, maybe David Ruiz out on the right wing, and then a mid three of Gomez, Redondo, Busquets, however combination of that, and then Alba, Freire, Toto, and Gressel as your back, calendar and net, as always.
I think you go 4-4-2 with Robert Taylor and Suarez at striker because it was spicy yesterday. I liked it. And then our midfield's strong. We got enough people to fill up the midfield. We got probably something like Gomez, Busi, Redondo, and maybe a David Ruiz. And then obviously Gressel right back, Alba left back, Freire, Toto.
I like that, Chris.
It was a fun exercise. I think it's worth
all four
exploring.
of us have totally different ideas of what would happen at that point.
Not really. Chris and mine were very similar.
Well, yeah, I'm saying park the bus. Just 0-0, go for it.
We know you're the first one to panic. We know.
In real life, in FIFA, everything.
In hypothetical situation here.
All right, guys. So I think we're winding down here, but Wednesday's match can't come soon enough. I keep thinking also, Chris, that it's tomorrow, but it's not. We'll have to wait a day, see more news come out, hopefully see some images of Messi training tomorrow, which I fully expect.
Maybe they sign a right back. Who knows?
Maybe. I'm not holding my breath at this point. It seems like the news on Dave Wannstedt. Weigand. It seems like that deal has fallen through due to a unwillingness by Miami to pick up his contract for $1 million when his contract ends in June or July this summer.
So they want $1 million fee on top of picking up his contract.
Right. So Inter Miami obviously don't want to do that for obvious reasons because they can just pick him up for free in the summer. So it does seem like that's what they want to do for obvious reasons. So that deal seems to have fallen through. So we're back sort of to square one for now.
No, not square one. We're also linked to another guy. His name's Juan Jose Caceres. He's on loan at Lannis. He's a right back. We've apparently shifted, according to Alex Winley, we have shifted our goals to try and get him. He's on loan right now, so that doesn't sound like a hard get. If we were to try and get him,
it never sounds like a hard get.
Doesn't sound like a hard get. Well, this one does. Where we're like, no, I'm not paying you anything. He's like, no, I want $1 million. Okay.
Well, when they initially reported it, they're like, oh, they're gonna give a nominal fee because his contract ends soon, and then a mountain appears out of nowhere. So you never know.
Don't you hate
when there's greed and money involved? There's always somebody who can say, oh, you want this? You want this? And then they snatch it away from you. You would never get these. Okay, that's two Borat mentions today. I gotta get out of here. Get out of here.
Let's get that hat off. So Wednesday night can't come soon enough. It's gonna be super interesting, super exciting. Hopefully not too stressful for us like last week's matchup. We were fully ready to come into this live just in awful moods, but luckily we had some magic. Hopefully there's some more magic awaiting us on Wednesday night. And we will be live as always for our post-match reaction, which will be shortly after the match, not like yesterday where everyone had to wait hours because it was in the middle of the afternoon. So join us on Wednesday as we break down the Nashville versus Inter Miami CONCACAF Champions Cup match, leg 2. Thank you guys to everyone that stuck around to the end, especially everyone in the live. Thank you guys so much for joining us and supporting us continuously. And we will catch you next time on the Heron Heads, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. See ya.
We'll be right back.